Hello and welcome to another update video about SUI. We start on the daily time frame, and on this chart you can see the important levels listed in red here, the resistance, yeah, and then you see also the patterns that could be playing out, the pathways. There are still two bearish pathways that are possible. To be honest, in the short term, they are the same. Doesn't really matter if we are dealing with the orange count or the white count, but also the bullish one in yellow. And as I explained to you before, so far there is no sign of a top. So trend is still up. Local trend from the April low is still up. We have a 3-wave move up only at the moment, but that could turn into a 5-wave move. If it's a 5-wave move, then this might be yellow wave 1. But that should stretch a little higher, or at least we should get a higher low and a higher high. We'll talk about that on a smaller time frame. And then if we see those 5 waves up, there would be yellow wave 1. We could then add support for yellow wave 2, and it would like stretch higher like that, right? That is what we would track overall here in the yellow scenario. And yeah, I mean, this is what we would track in this yellow scenario, and this is also the scenario I'm currently following primarily. I mean, as I said to you, the trend is up at the moment, and as long as support levels are holding, the focus can be on higher. And while the market moved too deep, really, I have to say that it moved too deep for a reliable wave 4 in the bullish scenario. I've always highlighted that it's still valid, and it depends on the structure of the next rally. And to be honest, this looks quite impulsive. However, it's only a 3-wave move up, so technically not yet an impulse. So I want to see the structure of the next pullbacks. But for now, there are levels on the smaller time frames that can guide us, that tell us if the trend is still up and so on. So for now, all scenarios remain possible. But as long as pullbacks remain corrective, yellow should be leading for now. That's also my assessment of the entire sector. That's all still very fragile. Some coins are moving more than others. Structure is still very fragile, but as long as pullbacks remain corrective around the sector, which they do at the moment, the focus remains on higher prices. And we have to take, each chart individually. Now, the question might be, okay, if this really is a 5th wave up now, I mean, where could the journey take us? What would be potential targets there for a 5th wave up? And if we track the 61.8 extension as a possible target, 50% retracement, extension, and the 78.6, we get some levels to watch. Now, the 50% might be resistance at $5.60, but to be honest, not really high enough for a healthy wave 5. I think it starts to become realistic around $7.40. That's the 61.8 extension. Any higher than that, next level would be $11, but there might be some levels in between. I just want to give you a rough idea. I think $7.40 is at least one measurement for a 5th wave to the upside. We can be more specific once we have wave 1 in place, and then the subsequent wave 2 pullback could be the next, could give us further target for the next moves up. Now let's take a look at the short time frame for SUI as well. The only other addition I have, in addition to the last video, is that obviously here we only have a 3-wave move up. We talked about that. And that 3rd wave in yellow might be complete. So wave 4 support is between $2.77 and $3.28. It means that as long as the $2.77, $2.78 level is holding, there is no sign of a top. There's no sign that orange or white are taking the lead. We can simply focus on higher against that support area. At some point, though, this pullback is becoming likely, and it is already due. It's not necessarily overdue. The price got rejected here at the 178.6 FIB extension. It would be quite healthy if in the very near future we start to see this 4th wave, maybe for 2 to 3 days, and then a 5th wave can send it higher. We have a 5-wave move up. At the moment, it's a 3-wave move up, so it's quite fragile. It could easily break below upper support, wouldn't be a problem. But we need to be very mindful that if the movements to the downside start to become impulsive, then it would be a first signal that the bears are taking the lead. But for now, there is no sign that the bears are coming back here or taking the lead. Instead, it looks like the bulls are starting to move. Pullbacks remain corrective. And one important addition, I think we talked about that in the last video, but I've just changed the levels a little bit. As long as we are holding above nano support, and it's not a level I expect to hold or anything, I use it simply as a signal. Once we get a break below this kind of nano support level, currently at $3.29, $3.30, only then really we have a first indication that we have started the fourth wave. Because as long as we're holding above that 329 level, it's easily possible that the third wave is still unfolding for one more high. Yeah, so we might get a pullback, hold here. As long as we're holding above 329, that's not yet the larger degree fourth wave. So yeah, that's the update about SUI with all updated levels. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.